Every time you enter one of the 3 skull zones, and it's during the night, there's about a 10 to 15% chance that a night cache will appear among the other chests in the center of the map. The night cache currently has the best loot in the game, including 1 or 2 mandrake seeds and 1 weapon with over 60% of its durability. In addition to the rare chance of it appearing, the night cache will disappear when it becomes daytime. There are more enemies at night and you have to worry about the night guest, so this is not an easy task. It will also disappear if you leave the area and come back, which means you can't reset AI players and therefore means that you need to be ready to fight an AI with a halberd. And you can't reset the night guest, so you need to have a torch on hand. And the night cache takes a really long time to open, so you will probably be interrupted 2 or 3 times to fend off invaders. In my opinion, there are 2 ways to farm for night caches. The first way is just to time your farming of the zone to where you arrive at night. This way takes a long time, but this is the way that I do it because if you farm the red zone well, it allows you to gain in every type of resource except sometimes food. I have a lot of good tips for farming the red zone inexpensively, but I'll have to put that in another video. The second way to farm for night caches costs a lot of energy and will cost you some of your other resources, but not too much if you do it well. First, equip yourself with good armor and 2 stacks of good food. I use fried leeks now when I farm the red zone, but I started with bandages because they heal instantly. You do what you need to do to not die. If you die, you lose everything. Do not die. You will also want to bring a torch and 2 good weapons. I normally bring a mace and a bastard sword. Then you're going to want to travel to the yellow wood zone. I use the wood zones because it costs a little bit less energy to travel between them. Enter the zone when it is around evening time and wait until it starts to get dark. Then exit the zone and head to the red zone. If you left right when it starts visibly getting dark, you should arrive at the red zone when nighttime is just beginning. Enter the zone and start to sneak to the middle. I usually end up killing 2 or 3 enemies on my way there with my mace, but you really shouldn't have to do that much fighting. I mainly do that to clear some areas to run to if an AI player appears. Watch your minimap like a hawk. If the night guest appears, go into your inventory and switch to your torch. Once you hear the night guest leave, switch back to your weapon. Your torch is useless in the red zone, so don't leave your inventory until you switch back to a decent weapon. You can pop food while you're in there if something like a direwolf is attacking you, but if you put yourself in a situation where you might die if you stay in your inventory, then obviously don't do that. That shouldn't happen if you follow these steps, but if it does, then just close out of your game. I'm mentioning all of these things, but really they almost never happen. If you move quickly, you should be able to get to the first 2 chests within 20 to 30 seconds. When you get there, you will be able to see other chests on your minimap. If you ever see 6 loot icons, then you know that one of them is a night cache. However, usually they're more spread out, so you can only see a few of them at a time. If the first few are not a night cache and you're having trouble moving around without getting seen, then switch to your bastard sword, get up, and run around in a circle to confirm that none of the other loot icons are indeed a night cache. Since you've already checked the first 2 or 3, there is less than a 5% chance that you will see a night cache. If you don't see one after making the circle, go back, taking the path you cleared on the way there, and leave the map. Click to travel to the yellow zone, wait a few seconds for the energy to go down to 12, and then run, and then do the same on the way back. This will allow you to load the zone up to 5 times in one night. And then when ads come in the next big update, as they've said, you will be able to do it even more than that. If in the very rare chance that you do find a night cache while making the loot, you now have to kill a bunch of enemies without leaving the zone. Luckily, all of the enemies in Grimsoul Survival have very different movement speeds, so you should be able to get attacks in as you travel along the path that you previously cleared. The reason it's important to travel along the path that you came is because if you don't, there's a chance you might aggro a Templar. Templars are not normally in the middle, so this tactic does not normally include fighting them. You can of course fight them if you need to, but that costs a lot of resources, so the point is to try to avoid them. Luring Knights and Templars to the corner of the map in hopes that you can open the night cache before they get to you is futile. This works on chests, but the night cache takes 3 times as long to open. Well, that's it guys, hope that helps. I'll see you next time.